I'm going to revisit my Techno machine. It's something I made several years ago, and it got to the point where I performed with it a couple of times and was quite happy, but I kind of just left it hanging. I moved on to some other things, and next thing you know, it's in the unfinished projects folder. This is something I really want to put a lot of work into and do well. The whole Tom Cosm image is quite sporadic, quite all over the place. I love creating new things, starting new ideas, moving around a lot, and just generally getting my feet wet in all kinds of areas. And that's all good, but I really want to throw down on something and do something quite serious this year. Not to say I'm primarily going to do that, but you'll probably be seeing quite a few of these videos of me really building this into something that I want. Interestingly enough, a recent project which I just finished, it was kind of a 2-year-long project, was stemmed from this. Someone got in touch and we ended up building a relationship, and I've took on a massive project building something for them. So it's a good time to revisit this. And I've kind of forgotten how it works. So in this initial video, very casually, I'm just going to go through and have a look at how everything is laid out. So I remember that we had 8 individual channels. You can see them here: kick, bass, snare, hat 1, hat 2, percussion, synth 1 and synth 2. And I kind of determined that I want to have things in nice orderly groups of 8, because I don't know, 8's just a really good number. It's a manageable number. And the other reason was I wanted this machine to evolve so that there were several tools available to me that would help me perform it. So a problem with this kind of performance, especially all synthesized based ones, so all of these are synthesized, we've got no samples whatsoever, is that I've only got 2 hands and a certain amount of dials and knobs, and being able to keep things interesting and moving along continuously can be quite a chore, or it can be quite difficult. So you're kind of restricting yourself almost to a progressive style of music because you keep adding and adding and adding. You can't do quick cuts and stuff. So a lot of the things I was trying to build were to try and aid that. And that's something I really want to focus on. I really would like to get more into the AI side of things. I want this machine to start learning how I perform or how I produce and doing things for me, things like little fills, or if I create a particular set of synths, it kind of knows what I would usually do as well and maybe aid me in that. So that's way down the track. That would be my ultimate goal. But for now, I just want to revisit this. So these are all synthesized based, as I said, and I believe I had 8 different tracks down here. If we look at the scene names, we do have 8 individual tracks, and they're split with these red scenes here. So each one of these, if we look on the kick track, you'll see I have kick 1, kick 2, kick 3. So I have a kick for each song, if you like. Maybe let's get this playing and see what happens. I'm just going to hit play. I've just opened this. I have not tried this out. Okay, so straight away, what's going on over here? Okay, I'll turn that off for now. Let me just check. I'm going to turn off all of these devices. So each individual channel is going through its own audio channel, which has a whole range of cool effects, which I'm sure we will reuse. This was all supposed to be controlled with the automaton as well, so we'll get into that shortly. So moving back over here, let's hit play again. Okay, let's just play some of these scenes. So the music is not exactly polished, that's for sure. So I do remember now that I spent quite a lot of time on the system. The actual sound design and tune stuff itself was more of a rush thing because I did have a gig I needed to perform this at. A lot of the magic does happen with the effects and the live work, so there is a big focus on being able to take these raw elements and do really cool stuff with them and improvise. But anyway, so if we go back to this kick here, you'll see we've got kick 1, kick 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so these are all good. I've made these an operator, and I'm pretty sure I'm just using operator and an EQ. What I might ultimately end up doing is just replacing this with one single kick. You know what? I'm going to do it now. I'm going to go into my instruments, go into my drum synth, and let's just use the drum synth kick. I'm going to replace all of those. So now we just have one single kick synth. I probably will ultimately build my own kick synth, but I like this one for now. Let's just have a listen to this. Let's just go ahead and play a kick. I'll play this one here. Very good. You know what? Let's do the same. Let's do the same for all of these. So the snare, let's just listen to them. They're not bad. They're not bad, but snare design's never been my forte. So I'm going to do the same here. Now I have got this saved, so I may revisit this in the past. I'm not deleting these forever. Let's just go drum, synth, snare. Hat 1, let's drag in the hi-hat. Well, let's have a listen to them. Why not? They're all quite busy, but anyway, let's put this in here. I'm just going to mute. I'll stop these clips here. Hat 2. Let's put in the simple drum synth. I will listen to them. They're not bad, but again, I just want to have a single synth here. Over on the percussion, let's use I quite like the drum synth FM. Let's put this in here for now. Already sounding pretty cool, eh? And synth 1 and 2, I'll leave these for now. So let's keep exploring. So that's good. What else do we have on the channels? We've got nothing. If I open up my ins and outs, you'll see that these 8 tracks go into these audio tracks here, the corresponding 8 here. And these are filler tracks. So if you're familiar with the DJ Megaset, I used this same technique. So this was to be able to create quick fills. So let's just have a play with that. Let's click on the snare. I think I need to bring the dry wet value all the way across here. Let's do it for all of them. So I'm going to bring the dry wet across. I think this was attached to a MIDI device. This is the chain selector acting as a dry wet style thing. So I'm going to click on none for all of these. This was made so long ago, I don't think I had these in groups either. So let's go ahead and group these. I wonder if this will break it, maybe. I'm grouping these so I can get a play button so I can try and trigger rows of these. So this is actually working quite well. So that's just when you want to create a bit of a variation. Okay, moving along, we have the automaton. So the automaton, so this is the old broken version of the automaton, yeah, automator. Maybe I hadn't even called it the automaton then. Anyway, so that's something I need to do is get the working automaton into here, which will give us that really neat user interface, being able to control all of these parameters here, which I'm sure do pretty interesting stuff. So these can all be controlled real time with the idea of that I can improvise and do that. Okay, let's keep moving on. Let's just go through the whole thing and I'll finish the video there and then decide what we're going to do. S, what's this? Okay, so this is a sidechain channel. So we can see that the bass, the hats, basically everything apart from the kick and the snare are going through the sidechain channel, and this is taking its signal. So that's kind of automating all the sidechaining for us. That's pretty standard stuff. What are these tracks? Morph 1. These might be just placeholders. So I don't think these do anything. We have a riser faller area. So I've already built a riser faller machine from the DJ Mega set, so we might bring that across. This is interesting. Riser on. So we're going to have to choose a parameter here. I don't really know how this works. Let's click some stuff. Okay, so these are individual fallers. So I've got a whole range of effects and synths here, and I think by clicking these it triggers them. This looks like a trigger. So this might trigger a riser and a faller. Let's have a look. I need to specify some tracks. So let's... I'm not sure what I need to choose. Let's try riser. Click on 1. Not sure what's going on here. I think I might need to choose something here. Okay, I have no idea what's going on here. Anyway, I'm sure it was very cool at the time. This just seems like an empty track. We have reverb, a sync delay, short delay, dub delay, it'll be the dub delay output, and a drive. And on the master, well, we've got my old countdown for live streaming. That looks like it for now. Let's just choose a different loop here. So what I'm thinking, I'm gonna have a think about how I approach this, but I think what I'll do is, in some previous videos for the bass track, I used kind of a reverberated version of the kick. So I might adopt that approach. I'm not sure yet. I think I'll think about how I want to restructure this. I'll think about what I have built since I've worked on this, what my skills are, because they've increased since I built this years ago, and start thinking about the next direction. So in the next video, I will have a bit more of an idea, but I just wanted to go through this and fill you guys in, and wish me luck on my journey building this. It's something I've really always wanted to do, is just have a really nice live jam template for techno.